let's go ahead and check out this old-time favorite by Americans, this 1996 Ford Taurus. Now here's the key fob for the vehicle. Has your Ford logo right there. Pretty basic looking key fob, of course, but that's what you would expect from a car this old. Now as far as styling goes on the vehicle, back in 96, I would have to say this car was actually pretty distinctive compared with other mid-sized family sedans like the Toyota Camry and Honda Accord, which were pretty boring in terms of styling. However, the Ford Taurus was, in this generation, it actually introduced the overall oval shape of the car, and that was actually had a lot of controversy back in 1996. However, I like the styling of the vehicle because it's classic 90s styling. Now our Taurus we have here is also the GL model. It is a silver exterior color with a gray cloth interior, full bench seating. Haven't seen that in a while on a car. I miss those days when they had bench seating in the front. And you also do have a manual driver's seat. Now step-in height for the vehicle is pretty low, I have to say. I have to keep it low here because it's a mid-sized family sedan. But overall, back in 96, this was actually a very distinctive looking interior design. Very unique as well. All these shapes going on with the ovals and everything made it look very unique. Very nice. Now coming to your transmission, you have a 4-speed automatic transmission. And let's go ahead and turn on the lights and the hazards too. Automatic driver's side window. And let's go ahead and pop up the hood and check out the engine bay. Halogen headlights. Now under the hood you have a 3-liter V6. Now this powertrain was actually standard on the Taurus. A 4-cylinder wasn't actually standard, it was actually this 3-liter V6. Now competitors like the Honda Accord and the Toyota Camry back in 96, they had a 4-cylinder engine as standard equipment. Now sales fell through of the Taurus in the early 2000s when it started to have more of a rental car stigma, and then the resale value also wasn't all that great either compared to its import competitors. But this was a really popular car back in the early 2000s and the 90s. Now trims of the Taurus start at the LX model, and then you have the GL model, and there was only 2 trims of the Taurus, and the GL model is like how we have here. And then the competitors of the Taurus were the Toyota Camry, Honda Accord, Hyundai Sonata, and then the Chevrolet Corsica until they introduced the Chevrolet Malibu in 1997. And then you also did have the Dodge Intrepid. And back in the rear, more of that oval themed design carries through. Rear window defroster with the 3rd brake light. Of course, you have all your basic power necessities, including power windows, power mirrors, and power door locks too. And let's go ahead and rev it up. Now, as far as build quality and materials go inside of this vehicle, build quality wasn't all that up to par with its import competitors like the Camry and the Accord, of course. But materials are actually excellent inside of this vehicle. You have nice soft touch materials on the upper door panel. Mid door panel carries over with the upper door panel, and then on the armrest too. But it's all pretty much soft to the touch, and a nice place to rest your elbows. Now up here, it also has soft to the touch on the dashboard too. Pretty nice, pretty decent materials inside of this vehicle here. Now, like I said, you do have a bench seat, and I do miss these days when they had bench seats for the front row. But you can use this as a seat or an armrest. Now, coming to your steering wheel design here, I would have to say this is actually a pretty stylish looking steering wheel design back in '96. But basically, you just have your cruise control buttons. Then you also do have a tilt steering wheel. Don't expect a telescopic steering wheel, that wasn't available. Manual dimming rear view mirror. And then coming to your center stack controls, everything was pretty logically laid out here. What you would expect from a family sedan. And I like how the controls are facing more towards the driver. Better ergonomics here. You have your fan speeds, the different zones, and your temperatures, and then your rear window defroster right there. Now coming to your gauges, very simple looking gauges. Here you have your speedometer, of course, your fuel gauge, and then your RPM gauge is right there too. Now, in terms of visibility inside of this vehicle here, visibility is pretty good. You have lots of glass area. Outward visibility can actually be a little bit better. Rearward visibility is actually pretty decent too. There's lots of glass area all around and very easy to see out of the back. Very large window back there. Now, as far as seating comfort goes inside of this vehicle, seating comfort, they're very big and large seats, and they don't offer a whole lot of support when you're going around turns or corners. You'll kind of flop out of your seat a little bit, but I've kind of expected that from an American mid-size family sedan here, but side bolstering is okay, it's just not the best. Thigh support is actually really good though, I have to say. Now, as far as driving impressions go of the vehicle, if you're looking for a smooth, comfortable ride, the Taurus would very impress you. However, if you're looking for a more driver-involved kind of car, like the Chevrolet Corsica and the Chevrolet Lumina would have suited you better. Alright, and let's go ahead and shut the Taurus down. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle, including the rear seat passenger space as well as the trunk. Very spacious trunk. The seats also do fold down. Very generous amount of cargo capacity here. Material quality and build quality does follow through in the rear. Now, sitting back here, you actually have dual map pockets. The seats are actually very comfortable back here. If I was to sit in the Taurus, I would actually want to sit back here. Then you also do have an armrest. And then a little storage cubby right there. Alrighty. So back in 1996, if you were shopping for a mid-size family sedan that seats 6, was smooth, comfortable, and easy to drive, the 1996 Ford Taurus was definitely a solid pick. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.